Download and watch it live on Sport TV Now app.
7 races down and 5 to go in 2025. Welcome to the Serena Jakarta E-Prix. It is hot, it is humid, and it is time to go racing. 38 laps of action to come for you this afternoon, with 22 of the world's best drivers in the Premier Electric for the E-Prix here this afternoon. Robin Price right at the back for Envision. Norman Nato, his equal worst starting position of the season. And all loader Yamaha at row 10 with Lucas de Grassi lining up alongside his teammate Zane Maloney. Jake Hughes 18th. Reigning world champion Pascal Wehrlein demoted 3 places for driving unnecessarily slowly in the Tag Heuer Porsche. And championship leader Oliver Rowland down there in 16th position as well. Lots of work for him to do. Stoffel van Dorn next up with Nico Muller in the Andretti alongside. Maximilian Günther, he's a former winner here. Sam Bird has his best starting position though in Jakarta with P11 for Neon McLaren. And then we run through into the top 10 positions on the grid. Mitch Evans, a third consecutive race in Jakarta, starting in 10th place, but he's not scored any points since Sao Paulo, December last year. Da Costa leads Porsche's charge. He'll be aiming for his 5th podium of the year from 9th on the grid. Next up is Jean-Eric Vergne. He's scored in all but 2 races so far this season. Sebastian Buemi starts 7th. He's never finished higher than 10th here in Jakarta. And right up ahead of him is Edo Mortara, a podium here back in 2022 for Venturi. He'll be aiming for his first podium of the year in Mahindra's second. Dan Tickton missed out on the semi-finals in the duels by just 0.005 of a second earlier on today. Nick Cassidy had a suspension problem in FP2, but he's very happy with P4 on the grid. The top 3 is occupied by Nick de Vries, 8th in the Drivers' Championship. He'll be aiming for the second Mahindra podium of 2025. Taylor Barnard making a mistake in the duels finals and lines up P2 on the dirty side of the grid. But it's Jake Dennis who takes his first pole since Berlin 2024, continues his unbroken streak. A race of patience versus precision, of brains over brawn. Who will be smarter in Jakarta as the 5 lights go out and go racing? As Dennis moves over and holds the lead, but look at Nick de Vries coming through on the inside. Tickton to the outside line there as well, but de Vries from 3rd up into 2nd. Dennis leads the way. And Barnard demoted down into 3rd position off the start. On the inside there is Nick Cassidy getting his elbows out against Dan Tickton through turn 2 and into turn 3. A textbook start though from pole position for Dennis. He holds the lead.
Definitely the biggest winner there. Dan Tickton muscled his way through. Biggest loser was Taylor Barnard. However, he's only dropped 1 place. And I think in reality that was always going to happen.
Middlesex with the lap down in towards turn 13. This is where we've seen so many drivers making mistakes. And look at the dust even online on this circuit. Side-by-side action going on there between the Costa... Van Dorn, rather, I should say, and Maximilian Günther down in 13th and 14th place. Rowland, meanwhile, has moved up a couple of positions. He's into 14th from 16th on the grid.
Got the speed to be able to be going quicker, but at the moment it's Jake Dennis that is actually dictating the pace.
Yeah, Jake Dennis has only led 6 laps all season before today, and he's going to be hoping to add to that tally. He's already led 1 here in Jakarta.
He's spectating the battle up ahead, seeing what Tickton does, seeing what Barnard does at the moment.
Cassidy really good in races like this, where you've just got to use your head and be patient, play the long game. So in terms of...
got a bit of pace underneath.
Yeah, we'll see what Sam Bird is going to be able to do from P10 on the grid. We ride on board with Jake Dennis, new race leader, 6 lap 5. As we look at Muller side by side with Sam Bird down into the first corner. That's a battle for 9th position. Dust being kicked up there. Muller on the inside into turn 3. Can he get it done? Can he make it stick? Bird gets shuffled to the wall on the outside. Muller through and into 9th. Proper 0-0 stuff given their performances in Shanghai after that 1-2 finish in the opening race of the weekend. Maloney's just managed to get ahead of Hughes.
Going for Bird in the other McLaren was having power cuts, so just be aware if Barnard gets the same.
Concern there for them, and unfortunately, cause for concern here for Maximilian Günther. A winner in Jakarta 2 years ago here for Maserati, and unfortunately with DS Penske, it is a retirement for the very first time in this race.
But what I would say about Oliver Rowland is he tends to make his way through traffic. He's a good overtaker. He's a very robust overtaker, but he's a good overtaker.
Yeah, can be adept at getting his elbows out. What happened for Max Günther in the second of DS Penske's? Oh, he got shuffled into the wall there.
We saw one of them coming up into the wall. Wasn't sure 100% whether they touched, but he slid wide, trying to get a good exit, and actually that's allowed someone down the inside.
Yeah, it was the Nissan, wasn't it? I'm just trying to work out if that was Rowland or Nato. It must have been Rowland because, yeah, he's quite far up the order. And
of Taylor Barnard. They're just waiting on who goes first on the attack mode between these lot. And there'll be a point where Dennis will push like mad on the second and third sector, to try to build enough of a gap so he comes out, hopefully, for him. See the pace picking up as we progress, as the circuit also increases in performance as well.
Let's have a look at Oliver Rowland's dramas then. So this is a move, a lunge on the inside there of Evans.
He just turned right on me, to my front wing.
It was a late dive to the inside there for Rowland, wasn't it?
It was good though, he was full card alongside though.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Another look on board, and he's trying to say that Evans should have given him some more room.
I think Evans was taken by surprise, to be honest with you.
That position when he's in attack mode, he might be able to cycle through. He's going on the inside into turn 13 again, against which Evans gets the move done nicely, and now Rowland is in 11th.
Yeah, he is up to 11th. Now remember, who's Oliver Rowland's competition? Pascal Wehrlein. Where's Pascal Wehrlein? And Pascal's just now taking attack mode.
He's then going to have to save it later on in the race. Rowland, 5-second time penalty for causing a collision then here. So, Oliver Rowland, Shanghai, no points.
But which collision?
Well, I
The
assume,
Gunter, there was a car between Gunter and the wall.
unless there's something that we haven't seen, yeah. But it seems strange to me, that one. I mean, we definitely saw that he was getting his elbows out, Oliver Rowland, but there was nothing that sort of indicated he was. Just to finish my earlier thought, Wehrlein, of course, as we said, expending more energy now, but he's going to have to save that later on in the race. Moves in front of David Beckman for 15th down into turn 1. So 2 positions gained on the last lap then. With lap 14 and a 32-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, and an extra 50 kilowatts of power for Pascal Wehrlein. Traditionally, in formulaE, you might see him diving to the defending the inside line. Wehrlein there with better track position and traction on the inside. Can he get the move done into turn 3? The door is kind of being squeezed there by Maloney. On the inside he goes, and Wehrlein there shuffled to the wall on the outside. Only got 1 attack mode deployment, having done an early deployment. On the inside we go with Wehrlein down into 13, moves up a position then, and Bird trying to attack as well. Van Dorn's going to lose 2-3 places quite possibly here after running wide, and now the leaders going, being awarded in this race. We're only on lap 18.
Okay, the leaders try to push. Make sure you follow them.
309 Zulu.
Oh, Barnard in attack mode and into the wall on the exit of turn 16. Sorry to cut in front of the team radio, ending quite nicely. The top 2 into attack mode then and going for that. Where are they going to emerge? It's going to be close there, and De Vries is going to lose track position here. Dennis shuffles out in front of Nick Cassidy, so that's pretty important here for Jake Dennis at this point, because Mortara in front is coming towards the end.
I think it was more of a defence against De Vries than anything else, because De Vries also will be able to go past his teammate, and it's 1-2. It's the same formation as before. The big loser, though, is Taylor Barnard. He got shuffled all the way down when he came out of attack mode and touched that barrier on the right-hand side. And was
He's really good at these races where you've got to just use your head and be patient. Barnard looking for an aggressive move on the outside onto the dirty stuff, loses a place there to Nico Muller to compound his woe. To do so and lead this race. It's not particularly energy critical. We're expecting this one to be. Dennis is going to try and defend it, and an aggressive chop over down the start-finish straight. De Vries forced to the outside line into turn 1. Dennis defends the lead. No way through there for Nick De Vries. Has to live to fight another day.
Yeah, and he's
now on overtime here for Nick De Vries. Down into the final corner then here, Team Radio.
Just manage your target as you need.
De Vries down the start-finish straight, attacking against Jake Dennis. Dennis again goes for that defensive line, but De Vries has got more power. Oh, contact! And Dennis loses front wing down into turn 1. A very aggressive chop over from the 21 of the Mahindra. Gain any track position, so he now knows it is critical over the next few seconds. Let's have another look what happened then down to the start-finish straight. So they were side by side. De Vries decided to defend it down into the first corner, but he wasn't far enough in front of Dennis. You can see there, extra track position, safety car is out. We can see on our timing screen.
Yeah, it was actually, the issue is it was Nick that moved.
What was that?
It was Nick that moved from the left-hand side of the circuit to the right to cut over in front. Here we'll see it. Jake Dennis didn't actually move, he moved back very, very slightly, but that's where the impact happened.
The thing is, there was a load of real estate on the left-hand side. I get what De Vries was trying to do. He's trying to stop the challenge there from Dennis.
That are in the game.
Whoa! Lay on the brakes there for Wehrlein into the side of Rowland down at turn 7. Does he get it stopped just about? That allows the door to be open. Have a look at Wehrlein and his move on Rowland. Contact into turn 7.
Oh, that was a bit silly.
Yeah, you could argue that. The door was always going to shut, wasn't it?
Well, it's not a 2-line corner. That's the issue.
Big profit though for Taylor Barnard. He's now able to split Roland and Verline. Roland, of course, has got that 5-second penalty. But no Dan Ticktum as Mortara goes into his final attack mode deployment. Yellow flag is out at turn 1. It's Jake Hughes who's come to a stop. Can't see exactly what's happened, but if he stops and can't get going again, we could see another safety car, which, for the likes of Ticktum and Dennis, who've just gone into attack mode, could spell disaster.
Yep.
There is the Brit, 30 minutes left remaining. This is a disaster for you. If you're Jake Dennis, you've got 4 minutes because he had another
like
6
it's
minutes.
going to be less than 4 minutes at the moment because the driver's still in the car and nobody's. So in that respect, I think this could be Dan Ticktum's, as he came to a stop. It's Jake Dennis has just stopped here, so it's a technical issue with the car down into turn 1.
Yeah, Hughes coming to a stop there.
Sorry, Hughes, apologies.
Yeah, down at the first corner. So we understand challenge on the inside. Mortara just able to pick up the pieces with four-wheel drive traction on the exit. Down towards the first corner we go. De Vries still with a 3.5-second lead. Ticktum in second place. Oh, Van Dorn also in some drama down at turn 16. So the second of the Maseratis out of this race.
And Dennis looks to be dropping back as well.
Unless it's a glitch on the timing screen. No, it's not. So, well, it's happened to Jake Dennis then here in this one. He's dropped right down the order. And De Vries in some bother here as well. So he's come to a stop. This is an absolutely dramatic end to the full course yellow there. So that's not working out at all for Dan Ticktum, as they now have to reduce their speed down to a set number of kilometres an hour. So,
I'm sorry, but this is working for Dan Ticktum because Mortara had 1 minute of extra power there, 50 kilos extra.
full course yellow, and Mortara can use that attack mode. Great for him, but you know, if it's a longer one, then
yeah, but he's sitting there and Mortara's time's ticking down.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Right, so Da Costa there in 5th position, 2 minutes of attack mode there remaining. Let's have a look at what happened though for Stoffel Van Dorn down at turn 16. Oh, that's a technical failure, surely. Yeah. Coming down into there and no brakes at all. And this is De Vries later on as he came to a stop in the Mahindra. So he already had a 10-second time penalty, and it's a DNF for the Dutchman down at turn 7. Have a listen. Oh, yeah, computer says no.
All of these happen just after a safety car.
No! Well, Fred Bertrand, as you can imagine, very disappointed.
Well,
so, let's take
happened to
the
Jake
big
Dennis?
opportunity here for both of those teams. Look at the energy that they've got remaining.
Full course yellow ending.
As now
in
the full course yellow comes to an end.
3, 2, 1. Green flag, please.
And on lap 34, we do go green flag racing. Ticktum immediately defends down in towards the first corner against Eda Mortara. So, deciding to go, and so it will be pretty defensive, but he's got a bit of energy left underneath him here as Dan Ticktum, and an opportunity for his first victory in formulaE as well. Through the middle sector of the lap we go. The top two have got a gap of about... These two are hanging about in particular, as Mortara again very close to the wall on the exit of turn 12. Roland's...
I think it will be one of these two, unless they crash into each other. Then it's going to be a pretty monumental moment and a big celebration on the podium.
Well, Dan Ticktum's never scored a point here in Jakarta, and he's got an opportunity for victory. Down in towards turn 13 we go. Again, Mortara all over the rear. 2.3 kilometres separating Dan Ticktum from his first win in formulaE, and Eda Mortara for his first victory since Seoul 2022. It's Cupra Kiro versus Mahindra. It's winner takes all stakes, and it's 1 lap to go.
Just Mortara, same stock.
So same energy remaining then for Mortara and Ticktum down to the first corner, and Mortara not close enough here, Alan.
Definitely not, definitely not. It's going to be a mistake by Ticktum, I think, that will allow that door
towards turn 16 we go. What a race this has proven to be here in Jakarta. 1 more turn left, and on his 60th start, Dan Ticktum for Cupra Kiro will finally become a winner in formulaE. The British driver takes the checkered flag. Dan Ticktum wins here in Jakarta, to the delight of Cupra Kiro, to Alex Wee and to Russell O'Hagan. Eda Mortara takes second. Nico Muller in third in season 2. Absolute delight for Dan Ticktum here. And he wins the PIF Driver of the Race award as well. I can't wait for this post-race interview. Dan Ticktum, he does wear his heart on his sleeve, and he can be sometimes seen as a bit of a divisive character in the world of motorsport, but they always say that form is temporary, class is permanent, and the form of Dan Ticktum has been tricky over the last couple of seasons.
Download and watch it live on Sport TV Now app.